We are back on MorningLine. This is Josh Horn. He's a good guy. He's here to answer your questions. Social Security, you see the number on the screen, 737-7587, if you want to jump in. And I'm just looking at this list of top baby names. Nick is never in there. Nick is never in there. No one likes the name Nick. I think Nicholas is a decent name, but it's not there. There is Mason and Logan. Down 9 and 10. I'll have to look at the full list on my Social Security. All right, we've got some folks waiting through the break. Let's get to your phone calls. Lines open if you have questions about Social Security, SSI, whatever you need. Paulette. Good morning, Paulette.
Good morning.
How can we help you, ma'am?
Yes, I've got questions about my husband. He has got several health conditions and makes it hard for him to work. And we've been wanting him to file for the disability, but I myself am on disability, and it took me about 4 years to get approved. And we can't do that. We have to have a separate income coming in. What do you suggest? He's 62 years old right now.
Well, he's 62 now, and so you're saying he's got some disabilities, but he's still working right now?
Yeah, I have to help him shower. I have to help him dress and put his shoes and all on. Besides his, his other health issues, had a heart attack.
Okay, but he is still able to hold a job, and you need that income right now. But he's 62 years old right now, right?
Yes.
So can you take
barely holding the job, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things when you reach that window that we mentioned before the break, 62 to 66, one option is for you to file retirement and disability simultaneously, which gets that retirement money coming in. Now it's going to be at the reduced rate, but then if you're approved for disability, they'll go back and change that to the full amount. And so that's maybe an option for you in this circumstances, is at least you'll have a little bit of money coming in while that disability decision gets is made.
It's a good idea. I mean, have you considered that option? He could take early retirement right now and start drawing that, and then also apply for disability. And if they see that, then you may get the full retirement as opposed to the early retirement money. That would be your option. Other than that, there's nothing else you can do. I mean, you can apply for disability, and he can continue to work if he can a little bit while he's. But the bottom line is, if he's able to work, they're probably not going to qualify him as 100% disabled. So yeah, that puts you in a pickle.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a tough situation. I really sympathize. But if he's able to work, and I hear what she's saying. Now, of course, if all of a sudden they just say, I can't do it anymore, and he's home, then they lose that little paycheck they have now. And we all know it's going to take at least 6 months, even if he gets it, to get his benefit, right? And they need that money. So it's hard. I don't know. I think their only and best option, if he seriously really can't work anymore, is what you suggested. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Go for the early retirement and apply for the disability. He can quit his job if he can't handle it anymore. Get the money from early retirement and then apply, and it'll take a while, but you'll have that money coming in while you apply for disability. That might be your, and that ties in with the first caller we had. So yeah, it's tough. People going through that and having to make these choices, and it does take time with Social Security.
And occasionally, and I'll mention this because I don't think we mention this very often, but occasionally we have somebody come in that wants to file for disability, but they've heard that they can't file because they're still working. But what it is they've worked for some small company or some situation for years and years and years, and the owner of the company or the manager, whoever, is basically subsidizing their wages. They're really not doing their job anymore, but the employer's keeping them on the rolls, or maybe they go in just a little bit and they're basically being subsidized, or basically being given a lot of their money, and they're working very little. When we evaluate your work activity, we can deduct any kind of subsidy type thing. For example, if you're taking a 15-minute break every 30 minutes, or you're doing, if you've got these kind of situations where you're really not working full time, even though you maybe, we're curious about, or we want to know what you're actually doing, and so sometimes that can play an effect. I don't know if in this circumstance, if he can't even dress himself in the morning, he might be in that kind of situation where he's not really doing what he was always doing, that the employer's just kind of keeping him on the rolls. Sometimes we see that.
Interesting. I would bet you're seeing that rarer and rarer. I love that, and I like the idea that employers show loyalty. But we all know that's gone the way of the dodo bird. I mean, I'm sorry. I think it's great, but unfortunately, I don't think a lot of employers do that anymore. But if you're in that position where a good employer recognizes your years of service and knows you're going through a tough time and still you're turning a bit for them, but they carry you along, it's very, very, very rare and very, very nice if that happens. Those are good employers. Let's go next to Donna. Hi, Donna.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, good morning, Donna. What's on your mind?
I was wondering if there's going to be a cost of living increase this year.
Oh, good question. There we go. We always get one of those every time you come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, that's something that Congress sits down usually in October, November. We usually find out in early November if there's going to be a cost of living adjustment. And so until that happens, I really don't know. And that's really a decision they really don't make until later on. So
the last 2 or 3 years there have been. They've been modest. But look, if I'm guessing, Donna, there's going to be. How much, and would it be something you even notice in your check that's actually substantive? I don't know. But it just seems like that's the trend we've been on. I mean, the last time there was not any cost of living increase, do we have to go back to like 2008, 2009?
It's based on the economy. So, you know, when the economy's strong, you know, there's probably going to be some kind of cost of living increase. Now the big question usually is how much is the Medicare increase going to be? This last year it was not a very big Medicare, so we actually recognized or got to see some of the cost of living adjustment, but many years the Medicare goes up by as much or more than the cost of living does. So we'll see.
So sometimes what you want to do is at least balance those two off, but if Medicare goes up and the cost of living doesn't, what happens then?
There is a protection in place where if Medicare goes up by more than the cost of living amount, that your benefits won't go down because of the Medicare adjustment.
You still have to pay the increase, though.
So
a little bit.
Well, you've got to pay as much as you can, but your benefit amount overall won't go down. And so now what happened is if that happens for a few years in a row, like it did in 2008, 2009, 2010, and then finally we start getting some cost of living, then sometimes you still won't see those cost of living adjustments because that's making up for the for the forgiveness basically that they were doing with the Medicare. So it's those two play hand in hand with each other.
No, you've told me that before. That's why I asked. And just so we'll know. And trust me, with Josh coming on the show, we usually are among the very first to announce it, but that probably won't come until after the summer in October or sometime in the fall. All right, the phone line's open, 737-7587 if you have a question, and we'll get to as many of you as we can, but good questions so far. We'd like to help you, so give a call. Don't be shy. Let's go next to Linda. Linda, good morning. Hi, Linda.
Good morning, fellas.
Hey.
I was with a friend of mine from junior high and high school this weekend, and we both are 67, and she told me that she had decided to apply for Social Security at age 67, and they were wanting some forms from her. And I just wondered, she was wondering, would it be best to just make an appointment and bring those forms in or mail them in just to get the ball started? And evidently it's been the past couple of months that she's already applied for it. So will she be getting a retroactive check once these forms are turned in? Or, I mean, she didn't tell me what forms, but I told her it might be best to call Social Security here in Nashville and make an appointment with them. So is that the best route to go?
If she's already filed for benefits, then we really don't need an appointment anymore. She's welcome to ring by the office. It really kind of depends on what forms they're needing. If she was filing for some spouse's benefits or things like that, it may have been a marriage certificate or divorce decree or something like that. If it was a Medicare situation where she's just now stopped working and she also, not only was she applying for retirement, but she was getting on her Medicare Part B because she's no longer covered under a group health program, it's probably that 40B form. And again, that can be mailed in, dropped off, however she wants to get it to us. So it just kind of depends on what the forms are, but another appointment's not needed, she can just mail them in. Or now, if it's a marriage certificate or divorce decrees, we have people mailing them to us every day, and we do what we need to do and mail them back. Some people aren't comfortable mail them, and so they want to bring them by. Either way, it's fine with us.
And there's no, she was saying, since she applied a few months ago and it's taken, there's no retroactive checks, would there, from when she first did it, or would there be?
Yeah, so when you are over your full retirement age,
which it sounds like she is. If she's 67, this is her full retirement.
Yeah, if she's over 67, then her full retirement age is probably 66. We can actually do, and she's never filed for retirement before, we can actually do up to 6 months retroactivity. So we have somebody, sometimes we
if it dates back to when she first applied for some reason?
I mean, if she walks in today and says, I don't know where my mind has been, but I forgot to apply for retirement benefits, we can take her back 6 months. Just wouldn't, when it's
really, yeah, because I was going to say, if you hit 67, which maybe in her case is full retirement, when anyone hits their full retirement age, if you choose not to take it, why would you choose not to take your full retirement when you're eligible for it?
So the other thing is we also have delayed retirement credits. So it's kind of a decision on do you want us to take you back 6 months, or do you want your delayed retirement credits?
Meaning you would get more money when you eventually.
So you can earn delayed retirement credits up until age 70.
Okay.
And so if I'm 66 and it's my full retirement age, but I'm healthy and I'm working and I'm enjoying working, I may just want to keep drawing my, or not drawing my benefits and let those delayed retirement credits. It'll increase your benefit amount, and I may do that. But you know what? I may come in when I'm 67, and all of a sudden I've been diagnosed with something, and I'm sitting here going, well, because now I wish I would have taken my benefits 6 months ago, because I may only live 3 more years, 5 more years, or something like that. Then we can, take you back 6 months and give you that lump sum, and that may be a benefit. Everybody's situation is so different that there's just different circumstances coming in, that sometimes it's better to go ahead and take the retroactive lump sum, and sometimes it's better to accept those delayed retirement credits, get a little bit more monthly benefits.
Oh, I see. So yeah, so if I get to that retirement age and I choose to, or let's just say I space out, and all of a sudden I'm 68 and realize, well, I could have taken it at 67. I can go to you guys and say, look, I'm applying now. I'll start getting my check, but can you also give me my 6 month retro? Do you have to ask for it, or do you guys automatically give it?
Well, we usually talk to individuals about it. Hey, here's a couple of options. We got delayed retirement credits,
or I could have pushed it forward, or the retro money. Interesting. All right, we'll take a break on that note. When we come back, more calls. If you're on hold, stay there. We had some good ones this morning. Hopefully we're helping you out a bit. 737-7587. Jump in if you're on hold. We'll get to you with Josh right after this.